All right.
Hello, everybody, and why she changed her tune. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit that notification bell when you do. For background purposes, we know Cheryl Reeves does not like Caitlin Clark, or she doesn't like the fact that Caitlin Clark gets a lot of attention in the league, and she helped keep her off the Olympic team. And everybody kind of knows the history behind that, so I'm not going to go over it. She was asked before the game against the Minnesota Lynx about Caitlin Clark, and she said a lot of positive things, and I think everybody was flabbergasted because that's a big change of tune for her. And she was also pleasant, which is also a big change for her.
Right.
Anyways, she said, first she talked about her college career. She said, I thought it was really cool that Clark's senior year of college, she became a road show. We wanted to play in a league that can sort of transcend some of these spaces and have a road show. And Caitlin Clark and some other rookies give us that. Obviously, Caitlin being a big headliner. Now, a couple things about that. One, she didn't feel obligated to say Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a first good point. Like, what? She didn't use it's Clark Reese.
Now, she did say other rookies because they have gotten, a fair amount of attention. Cameron Brinksack got some attention before she got injured, and Rakia Jackson's playing well right now, and so is Camila Cardozo. Anyways, that was interesting that she gave her credit for that about being popular, and now she, after she criticized her for getting the attention in the beginning when she had that tweet about the league's not all about one person, now she's giving her a compliment about that.
So, Mark, let me stop you for 1 minute, Mark. So she points out how Caitlin Clark coming into the league, or she noticed how she's going to be popular. Going back to our other videos, why hasn't the WNBA noticed that? It was a big shock to them.
Rob, that's the eighth wonder of the world.
I started to change it, but I mean that she said it, she saw it, but the WNBA, the management, marketing couldn't see that. I'm sorry. So, but we can go on. We'll go on about. But I mean,
I can't explain it, Rob.
There's another point.
I know that the league is scared to because the women will go all upset. I know that's the main reason, but there's probably it's still a mystery in terms of them wanting to make less money. Essentially, that's what's going to happen. They're more worried about feelings than about making money, and fine, they'll just make less money. So, she went on. She said, "What I have seen coming into this season and watching her in college, I said the single best thing that she does and that young players don't do is she plays with an incredible pace, and pace can get you really, really far. And there's great value in that. Pace and passing, I think, are her two greatest things. I know the sexier part is the logo 3, but pace and passing is what make her exceptional in my mind. Exceptional. She didn't say that again. I just said it. She said exceptional. Exceptional is a pretty good compliment from
right. Oh yeah, that's really good for her. Like what?
Right. So she said one other thing too, and I said that she was asked about having Caitlin Clark, Aya Moore, whose jersey was being retired that night, both being in the building, and she said, "I wish one was playing for us. Either one."
Wow.
Now, Rob, she had the chance for her to play for her, and she turned her down. In fact, she made an effort to make sure she wasn't on the Olympic team, Rob.
Right.
Now, why the sudden turnaround? Why the sudden niceness?
Yeah, what? Maybe she had this kind of epiphany, realizing when she saw her in the All-Star game, or when she played against her, she's like, "Gee, maybe she is pretty good."
Well, I think she knew it. I just think she also didn't want all the attention to go on one player. I mean, like I said, Rob, these players know the WNBA better than we do. They might not know basketball better than you do, but they know the WNBA better than you do. And these players know how good Caitlin Clark is and was and what the potential was. And I'll give you another. First of all, I think there's more than one reason for why she changed her tune. And anyone who thinks they know why she changed her tune, I think is wrong, because I don't think there was one reason. And I think only she knows the reason why. And we don't know if anything was said to her from the commissioner, which I doubt because she's useless. No. But I want to point something out to you, Rob. In the gold medal game, they almost lost. And the reason they almost lost is, one, they had no point guard that was healthy. Mm-hmm. Two, the best point guard in the league was at home. And three, France slowed the game down. And we just heard what she said about pace.
Pace, right.
How difficult that is to deal with for the other team, and how difficult that would have been for France. France was not any better than a WNBA team. They were a mediocre team. They were 4-1 for the going into that, but that was 4-1 against bad teams that weren't that good, and they almost lost. They were into overtime in one of her games, so they were almost 3-2 against not very good teams. So they weren't even that great a team. They were a mediocre team, and they almost beat them. Why? Because they didn't have Caitlin Clark, and she was sitting there sweating for at least 2 hours, knowing that if they lose, what's going to come down on her? The fact that she didn't have Caitlin Clark on the team. She knows. She knew every time that the basket was scored by France, and it increased the likelihood they may lose this game. In the back of her mind, she's saying, "Oh crap!
Yep,
I didn't have Caitlin Clark on the team, and if we lose, I'm going to hear it a lot about not putting her on the team." Even though she was in the committee, we do know she influenced it. And I think that is one reason why, Rob.
Oh yeah, no, you're spot on, Mark, with that. You can see. Just think if they had Caitlin Clark getting the ball and pushing the ball with those athletic players that the USA team had. They would have had layup after layup, open shot. The game wouldn't have even been close.
A team with scorers and a bunch of really good shooting guards that she could, break down the defense and get them open for wide open threes. That game would not have been close.
I mean, you saw in the All-Star game when Caitlin Clark had the All-Star game, they were saying, well, she's never played with them. Caitlin Clark never played with those All-Stars, and look what she did. They beat them. They beat the team that went to the Olympics.
All right, let's talk about other possible reasons. Okay, so she was rude a couple times, and one was that she was asked about the Caitlin Clark fans actually showing up for an away game, which is a home game for the Lynx, and she said she didn't give 2 S, and I don't give an S. And that was a really bad look for the league, Rob. First of all, she swore, which wasn't necessary. And second of all, the attitude just came across poorly. And when they won the Commissioner Cup, she said, "Oh, now you've got to watch us." And she also said, "We don't care what you think." That's an awful look for the league, Rob. Yeah. So I'm wondering whether the commissioner said something to her. Maybe the owner of Minnesota Lynx said something to her, like, "You're making this team look bad." Right. Someone probably said something to her. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they did. I'm just wondering. Those are two people that I think I would have said something if I was them.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, yeah. I would have said something. I mean, that was just a horrible press conference. And it would be like, what are you doing? What are you saying? What is your problem?
Now, let's come up with another possible reason, Rob. Maybe Caitlin Clark's play is improved and she feels more comfortable saying something about her. That could be a reason.
Well, I think the reason is that she already did what she wanted to do. Caitlin Clark was on the Olympics, and they got the gold medal, so she could sit back and go, okay, now I can kind of talk about and build her up now that whole mess is over that I messed up with. Right.
I think that's the main reason is she was afraid to compliment her before, because if you said something, you said what I just read to you, I'll just read something, a couple things. Number one, I wish one was playing for us, either one, or the comment that she said, and pace can get you really, really far, and there's great value in that. And then she said, that's what makes her exceptional in my mind. Well, if you really think you want her on her team and that makes her exceptional, why the heck isn't she on the Olympic team? Why didn't you encourage them to put her on the Olympic team? That's what people are going to say. And that's what people are saying now.
She didn't mention anything negatives, like about her turnovers, about her being experienced, she didn't say any negative like people are using against Caitlin Clark. Everything was positive. Her passing, her pace, and she would have been on the team. I should have picked. Oh, now you have this. Oh, gee, I should have picked her on the team. That's why they were saying we were un-American for that, wanting the USA to not get the gold medal. But I think this close game with France made it even was better than them losing the gold medal, because it really showed, like you said, It really showed how they needed a point guard.
I'll give you another possible reason, Rob. It's an honor to be coach of the Olympic team. I guess they get paid. I don't know. But either way, it's an honor. And obviously she wanted to do it or she wouldn't have done it. And they don't always change coaches every time. Gino did it 2 Olympics in a row, 2012 and 2016. So she may want to be coach 4 years from now. Well, if Caitlin Clark hates her and Caitlin Clark is the best player in the league 4 years from now, which I maintain there's a really good possibility of that. She certainly will be the best point guard in the league. And there's like zero possibility of that unless she's injured. So, you know, if you're, let's say they have a different committee. Let's say they have one who's not so biased or whatever, and they're choosing a coach. Are you going to choose Cheryl Reeves knowing that Caitlin Clark hates her or that she hates Caitlin Clark? No, you're going to keep her off the team. You're going to get a different coach. There's right. 12 coaches in that league. There's other excellent coaches besides her. Right. So maybe the motivation is she wants to be coach again in 4 years. That's another reason. Mm-hmm. That's why I said you can't really figure out the reason she's changing her tune, because I think there's a certain percentage of all these reasons for why she's actually doing this. I can't tell you what the percentage is. I just think it's all of these reasons.
All of a sudden, the leopard changes her spots.
Yeah, well, she changed her spots quite a bit. And I don't know what her motivation is, but I think it's all of those reasons. And only she knows what percentage of each of those is the motivation. But I do find it interesting that she changed it drastically and was nice about it. Didn't say anything negative, as Rob pointed out. And at the end of the day, Rob, I think it's great that everybody across the league is beginning to accept the fact that Caitlin Clark is revolutionizing women's basketball as we know it. And that has to do with the pace that her and Sue Bird talked about in the last week.
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's what it comes down to.
Oh, yeah. So let us know what you think, because, see if we're right about our reasonings of why she's all of a sudden had this change of heart. That's the word I wanted to use. A change of heart.
She was almost charming in her, when she was giving her answer. I was in like shock when I saw
Mark, she was likable.
Almost likable. She's still not likable. Okay. You can't discount everything she's done and said in the past.
True. Almost likable. True.
But it's better than just, crapping on her all the time.
Yeah.
Or not giving her any compliments.
Right.
Reality came for her and it sunk in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, join us for the live show tonight. It's going to be from 6 to 7:30. And then at 7:30 to 9:30, we're going to be live for the game. A big game against the Atlanta Dream. And that's on NBA TV. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please, you're getting Rob upset if you don't subscribe. And you know what, Rob upset? Look at the look on his face. No, where's your mean look, Rob?
Oh, my upset look. Oh, sorry.
We're looking for 4,000 subscribers, and we need your help, just like Uncle Sam. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. And there's also a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.